Hi guys! I'm Kaman.
I'm Limi.
I'm Chia. I'm Xuan.
And I'm Jaden. We are from Group 6 presenting current market outlook of oil and gas industry in Malaysia.
Let's get started!
The history of oil and gas industry in Malaysia was first discovered in the beginning of 20th century and first discovered in Sarawak on 1909 and produced by Shell in the next year. At the late 1916s, the development of offshore field has begun to expand to Peninsular Malaysia. In 1975, the petroleum concession was granted by state government, which oil and gas industry have the exclusive right to process and export the resources. So for the reference, Malaysia is made up of 5 major basins, which are Malay Basin, Petroleum Basin, Sarawak Basin, Northeast Sabah Basin, and Southeast Sabah Basin. In the statistic of 2018, there is annual production of 650.2 kilo barrel per day, and with the consumption of 400 to 714 kilo barrel per day. Oil and gas industry in Malaysia is very important as it contributes to 20 to 30% of Malaysia's GDP. There are over 3,500 oil and gas companies in Malaysia, with the forecast to grow at 5% annually despite of market uncertainties. So for the market demand to 2020, the oil and gas demand outlook for Asian countries in the period of 2016 to 2022 is expected to rise from 8.5 million barrel to 9.8 million barrel per day. So for the key players, they are comprises of international and domestic oil and gas industry. In domestic oil and gas industry, Petronas is owned by government of Malaysia, which involved in upstream exploration, production of oil and gas to downstream oil refining. Among the international oil and gas industry, Shell, which mainly focus on exploration, development, production, refining, and marketing of oil and gas. The company is operating in more than 70 countries, with the production of liquefied natural gas was over 66 million tons in the year of 2017. Next is ExxonMobil, which mainly focus on oil and gas operation. From the year 2016 to 2017, the natural gas production of the company increased from 84 billion cubic feet per day to 10.21 billion cubic feet per day.
So I'm going to start off with the recent development of oil and gas industry in Malaysia. Some of the major oil and gas projects in Malaysia are: first one, Pengerang Integrated Complex, also known as PIC. For the second one is Malikai. For the first one, PIC is actually the Petronas' largest downstream investment in Malaysia, with an investment amount of 27 billion US dollar. It is located at Pengerang, Johor, with an annual production capacity of 300,000 barrels of oil per year. It is designed to produce premium differentiated petrochemicals in order to satisfy the domestic demand of petroleum products. For the second project, it is named as Malikai. Malikai is the Shell's second deep water project in Malaysia, and also it is also the Malaysia's first project to have tension leg platform, which is a floating oil production facility that fits on a seabed. It is located 100 kilometers away from the west coast of Sabah, with an annual production of 60,000 barrels of oil per year. So, finish up with the major project in Malaysia. Let's move on to the second part, which is the regulatory framework of oil and gas industry in Malaysia. Currently, there are 2 important legislation in order to form the foundation for development of oil and gas industry. The first regulation is Petroleum Development Act, also known as PDA. Its purpose is to provide ownership for upstream activity like exploration or exploitation of oil and gas resources in Malaysia. And this ownership is actually granted by government to Petronas in order to control the national oil and gas industry. For the second regulation, it is known as Petroleum Regulation, and its purpose is to divide the oil and gas activity in Malaysia into two categories. The first category is upstream activity, while the second one is downstream activity. It states that the upstream activity in Malaysia will be handled by Petronas, while the downstream activity will be handled by two authorities. The first one is Ministry of International Trade, also known as MINTI, while the second authority is Ministry of Domestic Trade, Cooperative and Consumerism, also known as MDTCC. To summarize, upstream activity will be handled by Petronas, while downstream activity will be handled by MINTI and also MDTCC. Thank you.
Driving force is the internal and external forces or factors that shape the future of an organization. There are 5 main driving forces that influencing the oil and gas industry in Malaysia. First, Malaysia's highest quality oil reserves. Malaysia is one of the proven reserves in the world and was ranked 27 among 100 countries in the year 2016. The quality and quantity of crude was analyzed by the geological and engineering data. Furthermore, the oil and gas product is the main economic factor in Malaysia. Malaysia has the second largest reserve among the countries in Southeast Asia and is one of the world's largest producer of liquefied natural gas. These two factors make Malaysia become the third largest liquefied natural gas exporter in the world. From the survey of EIA Malaysia has shipped about 1.2 trillion cubic feet per year of liquefied natural gas and accounted of 10% of liquefied natural gas was being exported to worldwide. The main importer of Malaysia liquefied natural gas is Japan, South Korea, China and Taiwan. Most of the liquefied natural gas export from Malaysia was sold through medium or long-term supply contracts. Lastly, Malaysia offers a wide range of business opportunity for the other country by offering incentives for foreign companies. This improves the GDP of Malaysia and also allows the foreign company to expand their business in Malaysia. Government also provides attractive incentives to support the oil and gas business in Malaysia. The Global Incentives for Trading (TGIF) program provides a tax incentive for both domestic and international companies.
Okay, now I'll be talking about the investment opportunity available in Malaysia oil and gas industry. It is mainly divided into two classes, which is upstream and downstream, where upstream activities consist of exploration, development and production of crude oil and gas, while downstream is the refineries, petrochemical plants, and regasification terminals. So now let's look at upstream. The first technology needed is the enhanced oil recovery technique, which is essential to increase the production of underground oil and gas reservoir up to 50%. Second is the deep water exploration partner, who is the key towards sustaining Malaysia's oil and gas production over a long term, where there will be discovery and development of new reservoir. Third, we'll be focusing on the small field or marginal fields, which is an oil field that's yet to generate sufficient income to make it worth develop at a given time. Thus, innovative solution provided is needed in order to develop a framework for small fields industry. Moving on to downstream, the establishment of PSC and Sipitang Oil and Gas Industrial Park is expected to spur out considerable opportunities for other industries, such as fabrication, manufacture of equipment, logistics, storage, and R&D centers for alternative energies. Second, the new LNG regasification terminal built in Malacca is expected to create more than 27,000 of job opportunities beyond the areas of oil, gas, and energy. Lastly, government has also introduced a program named Global Incentives for Trading, which is aimed to develop Malaysia into a low-tax commodities trading regime. It offers tax incentives to both the trading companies as well as non-Malaysian directors and employees. So to summarize, based on the opportunities mentioned just now, we can say that there's still space for improvement for Malaysia oil and gas industry. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to challenges. Firstly, we'll be talking about reduction in oil price. So the declining global crude oil price in June 2014 has affected most companies. Hence, cost reduction strategies have to be come up to tackle the problem, and which then causes projects to be cancelled or to be deferred. And then secondly, it will be a low oil price environment, which is due to the reduction in oil price, causing the environment to be difficult for most companies, and hence they are cutting costs, especially in the number of staffs, to stay relevant in the market. Thirdly, the stunted production growth. The reduction in capital expenditure, also known as CAPEX, has reduced the exploration projects, which limits the production growth in oil and gas industry. Moving on to market consolidation, due to the reduction in oil price, or known as market collapse, the small companies have to either be taken over or merge with bigger companies to remain relevant in the market. Then, the limited flexibility in reprocessing, which is the interrelation between petrochemical and refinery, has caused that the byproducts produced from these plants to be used as a feedstock of fuel in the refinery. Hence, there's a limitation in the flexibility of reprocessing the byproducts to other useful products. Lastly, it will be the fierce competition. Based on the recent development itself, Singapore, there's actually a fierce competition to the Pengerang integrated complex, which is built in Johor, due to the location of PIC near Singapore, as well as other neighboring countries such as in Vietnam, Thailand, or Indonesia in the oil and gas industry. And that's all for challenges. So, to conclude on the current market outlook in oil and gas industry, there are still fluctuations in the current oil and gas market globally due to imbalance of supply and demand. However, Malaysia still strives to be in the top within Southeast Asia region due to the driving forces of it being the main economy of Malaysia, as well as Malaysia having the high quality reserves. To tackle the challenges faced by Malaysia oil and gas industry, new technologies and inventions are required, and thus opportunities are available in both upstream and downstream to improve our current economy, production and market. That's all. Hope you enjoy.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.